In this video, I'm going to show you how to use apostrophes. So we use apostrophes in two ways. We use them to form contractions, which is where we merge two words together, so can and not, to make can't. And we use the apostrophe in place of a letter or two letters. The other reason we use apostrophes is for possession or belonging, to show who something belongs to or what something belongs to. So today I'm going to show you how to use apostrophes for possession, and at a later date I will show you how to use them again for contractions. So possession basically means that it belongs to someone who has control of or who has ownership of a certain item. So Mr. Leek possesses the bag would be Mr. Leek has the bag, it's his bag. Okay, and we'd use an apostrophe, we'd say Mr. Leek's bag. So we are going to use a sentence from our text, or at least link into our text. And we have a sentence here that says the book belonging to Tranio was thrown in the bin. So the book belonging to Tranio was thrown in the bin. Now, there's a couple of things we need to remember when using apostrophes for possession, and that is if we're talking about a single person, we will have apostrophe and then S, so that is for a single person or object. If we're talking about multiple people, so we'd say the people's breakfast or the customer's breakfast, and there's 2 or 3 customers, you will use the S and then an apostrophe, and that is for plural. So we're going to convert this sentence into a more succinct sentence, one that flows better. So instead of saying the book belonging to Tranio was thrown in the bin, we want to say that Tranio's book was thrown in the bin, and we're going to do that using apostrophes. So we'll start off with who it belongs to, and that is Tranio. And Tranio is a single person, there's only one of him, so we're going to go for this version here, which is apostrophe and then S. So Tranio's, and then it's his book, was thrown in the bin. Then full stop. So Tranio's book was thrown in the bin. So we've taken a clunky sentence, the book belonging to Tranio was thrown in the bin. We've shortened it, we've made it flow better with an apostrophe to say Tranio's book was thrown in the bin. Okay, the way we could have a plural, so if I show you a different version, and I'm talking about Mr. Leek has 3 dogs. Okay, so 3 is more than 1, we're talking about plural, and we can refer to their breakfast. Okay, so if we were to use the clunky version, we would say the breakfast belonging, you're going to see an apostrophe in a moment, to Mr. Leek's dogs. So that's a single and that's possessive. They are his dog. Was missing. So our sentence is, the breakfast belonging to Mr. Leek's dogs was missing. We want to change this, we want to make it flow better. So we will say, Mr. Leek's, and here we have an example of a singular apostrophe, Mr. Leek's, and this is where we use a plural. He has 3 dogs. So if it's his dog's breakfast, and there's more than one dog, there we are. We use the apostrophe after the S. Breakfast was missing. So apostrophes can be quite simple. The only thing that will catch you out, the only thing to remember is if it's a single person or a single item something is belonging to, you use the apostrophe and then S, and that is the most common way in which you will use the apostrophe for possession. Less frequently, we might have to use it for instances where there's more than one, so plural. So like we said, there's 3 dogs. In that case, you will use the S and then the apostrophe afterwards. The way to remember it is, if it ends in an S, you're not going to put apostrophe S. You're not going to have is. Okay? So, if it ends in an S, easiest way is put the apostrophe afterwards. And plurals will end in an S because there is more than one. So have a play around with it, try some different sentences and come back to this video if you get stuck.